Hey Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video I want to talk about something I'm calling the 10-day theory. I recently did a video on how Robert Kennedy came out to Roseburg, Oregon on May 27, 1968 to give a speech on gun control, only to be shot and killed 10 days later. If you're new to my channel, what I show is how history is rigged by numerology, having to do with the numbers that dates form. We'll talk more about it. And also gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. And if you want to know how to gematria as you watch this video, just pause and then go to your search on YouTube and type in how to gematria. And gematria is G-E-M like gem, A-T-R-I-A. And I've been told it can also be pronounced gematria. But anyhow, that's how you spell it. Type in how to, gematria, gematria. You'll be in business in no time. Anyhow, using these skills, you can see how history is rigged by the numbers. What I'm about to show you here is a theory predicting what might be to come in recent days using this knowledge, because history really does repeat itself in this world, and part of the reason it repeats itself is because this gang that is ruling over us are numerologists, hoaxsters, and seem to be having a big belly laugh at everyone's expense. So to get into what I'm talking about, let's do some explaining, let's set this up, and then let's talk about how Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, and several others have died by this very specific set of numbers. If you write out the phrase mark of the beast, which is a phrase that comes from Revelation in the Bible having to do with the number 666, mark of the beast sums to 144 in gematria, just using the alphabetic order. M's the 13th letter, A's the first, R's the 18th, etc. In Revelation, the number 144 is used twice, and the number 666 is used once. So both of these numbers are in Revelation, the final book of the Bible, the 66th book of the Bible, and the number 66 has a lot to do with Robert Kennedy and his death, which we'll get to. Anyhow, with regards to 144 and 666, they have a mathematical relationship. If you take the number for pi having to do with cycles and circles, 3.14 with the decimal point repeating, if you sum the first 144 decimals of pi, it sums to 666. So this is the relationship between 144 and 666. And again, mark of the beast is the phrase that refers to the number 666. When you think about it, you realize that this is no coincidence. This is coded into our language. And what I show further will be proof of this. Notice that the phrase dead Kennedys has gematria of 666. Also, after you're done with this video, please watch the other video I just did on the death of Robert Kennedy, because I talk about the death of his brothers, John F. Kennedy, Michael Kennedy, and what's the other one's name? Lemoyne? Can't think of his first name. Anyhow, Robert Kennedy, look at the name gematria. Robert sums to 33. Kennedy sums to 33. The Kennedy family hail from Massachusetts. Massachusetts is only one of 3 states that have a gematria of 33. Let me just show you this so you don't have to take my word for it. There's calculators online. You can go here, writingthebeast.com. English reduction is the same as Pythagorean gematria. The only 3 states that sum to 33 are the first state, Delaware, which is established on a date with 33 numerology as well. The 6th state, Massachusetts, and the 50th and final state, Hawaii. Only those 3 states sum to 33. Obama is from Hawaii. So Robert Kennedy, Kennedy family from Massachusetts, 33 land, has a name that's 33 and 33. And if you look at the inside of Kennedy, notice the 5555. In Washington, D.C., home of the federal government, federal is another one of these 33 words, Truth Seeker. Federal, 33. Washington, D.C., the capital of the federal government, has simple English gematria of 137, and 137 is the 33rd prime number. Anyhow, in Washington, D.C., the Washington Monument is 555 feet tall and 5 inches, 4 fives. The Pentagon is 5-sided, 5-floored with a 5-acre court in the middle. The word new in Pythagorean gematria breaks down to 555. And what I assert from my research is that the New World Order is really an Old World Order, and that symbol, the Washington Monument, is a testament to new and creation and what this nation is doing to the rest of the world. You know, you see more and more of the world becoming like America. Also, notice how it closes out with 47, 47, a very special number. The word president equals 47. He was running for president at the time. The word mafia in Jewish gematria equals 47. The words obey and authority equal 47. Judge and gavel, and a whole lot more. Very important numbers. Anyhow, also, notice how Robert Kennedy sums to 66. His assassin was Sirhan Sirhan. Look at his name gematria, 3333. Also summing to 66, and Robert Kennedy would die on June 6th at 1:44 a.m. Remember, Revelation's the 66th book of the Bible. If you write 33 and sum it in Pythagorean gematria, it sums to 66. And the difference in Pythagorean gematria is that T's the 20th letter, but instead of adding 20, you compress each letter to a single digit. So 2 plus 0 for 20 becomes 2. H is the 8th letter, I is the 9th, R is the 18th. 1 plus 8 becomes 9. You make each letter a single digit, then you add the word. Doomsday in history is June 6, 1944, World War II. Doomsday has gematria of 33. With the S exception, it has gematria of 42. Robert Kennedy died at the age of 42. And with regards to 44, it is a very special number connected back to 144, which is where we began, and Robert Kennedy died at 1:44 a.m. June 6th. If you write out 44 and sum it, it sums to 144. The word kill has a gematria of 44, True Seeker. K the 11th, I the 9th, L the 12th, L the 12th. Think about that closeout of 12, 12. 12 times 12 is 144. JFK, his brother, was the 44th term president. He would die on the first day of Sagittarius, which has gematria of 144. In the year that Bobby Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, was killed on June 6th, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th. Think about that date, 4/4. The first president to ever die in office was the 9th president, William Henry Harrison. He died 1 month into his term on April 4th. He was the first Whig. Whig has gematria of 47. They would become the Republican Party. Republican has gematria of 47, another number we were talking about. But just see how all this comes together. They say Julius Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC, possibly the most famous political assassination in history. So anyhow, Bobby Kennedy, 47 years ago in 68, went to speak in Roseburg, Oregon, and was killed 10 days later, June 6th, dying at 1:44 a.m. Roseburg has gematria of 42, just like the age Bobby Kennedy died at. This is the headline from the New York Times after his death. Kennedy is dead. That opening part right there, Kennedy is dead, has gematria of 66, just like all the other 66 coding in it. That whole first sentence, Kennedy is dead, victim of assassin, has gematria of 166. And this is a very interesting number, especially coming out of New York. Notice how Twin Towers in September 11 have gematria of 166. There's some other special ones there, but it's a significant number, and it also has a 66 within. So, Bobby Kennedy dies at 1:44 in the a.m., 10 days after speaking in Roseburg, Oregon. And Roseburg has gematria of 144. Think about how today, October 9th, the 44th president spoke in Roseburg, Oregon. Retracing the steps of Bobby Kennedy. Obama's going to be out west this week. Bobby Kennedy was killed in Los Angeles. Bobby Kennedy would die 26 hours after being shot. That number 26 stands out right away. 26, the God number in Gematria. The English alphabet is 26 letters. The word God equals 26. 26 hours later. Something interesting about 26, if you write it out in Jewish Gematria, it sums to 1944. Remember, in that year on June 6th, it was Doomsday. How that connects back. Something interesting. It could be a coincidence, but I find it a little bit fascinating. So, if Obama is truly retracing Bobby Kennedy's footsteps, he might very well be assassinated October 19th, 2015. Look at why this date is so concerning. The date 10/19/15, Truth Seeker. 10 plus 19 is 29, plus 15 more is 44. This date has 44 numerology to start. And remember, we just talked about how 10 days later equals 144. October 19th, this date with the 44 numerology is 10 days from now. The date, 10 days after Obama spoke in Roseburg, which was today, October 9th. It's also a date with 64 numerology if you go the full method. Whoops. Now it equals 64, and the reason this number is significant is because the full name Barack Hussein Obama has gematria of 64. He was elected 44 years as the 44th president after the Civil Rights Act of 64. The Civil Rights Act happened in 64. Civil rights has gematria of 64, Truth Seeker. Think about how Obama ran on hope, another word with 44 gematria. All of these numbers have duality as well. The words karma and faith have gematria of 44. So no number is all bad. It's just so often in history these numbers are used in a deceitful way. Notice that October 9th is this date that leaves 73 days remaining in the year. This is interesting because the word sacrifice has gematria of 73. The date Obama's born on, August 4th, 61, has numerology of 73. With regards to Obama's birth year of 61, this year on April 15th, which was 61 days after the 44th day of the year, which is the day of Lupercalia, and Lupercalia has a gematria of 44 on the 44th day. 61 days after that, Obama got a letter from a man in a gyrocopter that was 61 years old. His name was Doug Hughes, which had gematria of 61. Gyrocopter equaled 61, and he was 61 years old, and it came 61 days after the 44th day. The headline from CNN all day was "Message Delivered." To me, that seemed like a major hint at what was to come for Obama. The Civil Rights Act is also a date with 73 numerology, Truth Seeker, and civil rights with the S exception sums to 73. 64 without, like the year 64 it happened. Shortly after the assassination of JFK, 223 days later to be exact, like the number for the Synagogue of Satan if you've been following those posts. So, Truth Seeker, September 23rd was a big day this year for Obama. There was a lot of connections. From September 23rd to October 9th is 26 days, which kind of reminds me how Bobby Kennedy died 26 hours after getting shot, this special number. When Bobby Kennedy spoke in Roseburg, it was May 27th, a date with 239 gematria. Right now, the United States is 239 years old. 23/9 also reminds us of that September 23rd date. Now get this. This is what's really trippy. Remember that September 23rd is October 6th on the Julian calendar, and October 6th on the Julian calendar is October 19th on the Gregorian calendar. All these dates are intertwined. From Obama's birthday, August 4th, to October 9th is 76 days. The word master equals 76, but it's also 10 weeks and 6 days, which is a lot like 106. And October 9th is the same as October 6th on the Julian calendar, this date of prophecy. See how this all comes together a little bit? Also that date, October 9th in numerology, if you cut out the 0, in numerology looks like 119, the number for Star of David, reminding us of the date September 11th, reminding us of November 9th as well when the Berlin Wall fell. This year, November 9th, Obama is supposed to meet with Netanyahu. Robert F. Kennedy died at the Ambassador Hotel. He died at June 6th. This is right here what you see is the time he was shot. He died June 6th at 1:44 in the morning. Pull that back up just so you can see it. Time of death, 1:44 a.m., June 6th, 26 hours after being shot. So he was shot June 5th, which is the 156th day of the year, Truth Seeker. The word God in English gematria equals 156. Show you this real quick just so you can see this. God equals 156 in English gematria. The movie The Truman Show, based on the 33rd president, or the name is a tribute to the 33rd president who introduced the CIA and the NSA and all the things that spy on us. The movie Truman Show is about playing God over a man's life. The main character's name is Truman Burbank. There's a whole lot of 44 in this movie as well, but just notice how Truman Burbank has that 156 gematria. So one of the God numbers, both of these numbers connected to the death of Bobby Kennedy. The coordinates of the hotel where he was shot, 34th parallel north, 118th meridian west. The reason this is interesting is because these numbers are attached to tragedy. The word murder equals 34 in Pythagorean gematria, and the word death equals 118 in Jewish gematria. He was shot at the Ambassador Hotel, having gematria of 54. Obama's currently 54 years old. His attorney general is Loretta Lynch, having name gematria of 54. And just think about the name Loretta Lynch. Her confirmation started on a date with 44 numerology, the kill number. She's 59 years old. Again, 59 is the kill number in Jewish gematria. And it's also a number coded over Black Americans in a sick way. The word Negro, slave, blues all have gematria 59. Motown came out in 59. And it's the kill number in Jewish gematria. The gun that shot him, named an Ivor Johnson, having gematria 59, also 68, like the year he died in. Same with MLK, caskets go 6 feet deep or 8 feet long. The name Barack Obama in simple English gematria equals 68. The name John F. Kennedy equaled 59. He was the 44th term. The number's connected to kill. Remember how they're all connected through all these numbers, Truth Seeker. This is what I'm educating on. This is how history repeats itself. Should Obama die on October 19th, just know it was written. It's very possible he doesn't die on that date. There are other interesting dates, but right now with him following the path of Bobby Kennedy, it's all very interesting. 44, April 4th, Sagittarius. His number tie all these men together, and also 10 days later. It was 10 days later, after Bobby Kennedy visited Roseburg. It would be 10 days later for Obama if it happened on October 19th. All right, until next time, Truth Seeker.